Okay, this last section in the ionic compound chapter deals with mass percent of elements in those compounds. Now, this is pretty much the same idea as the percentage of water in a hydrate, except now we're looking at every individual entity within the compound. So, again, you have to find the total mass, and you take each element's total mass divided by the total mass of the compound times 150%. It's that simple. So let's take a look at some examples here. The first one deals with zinc-2 carbonate. Now, zinc-2 carbonate, we look at the mass of each one of their periodic charts. This one is 65.4 grams per mole. Carbon is 12.0 grams per mole. And the oxygen, and we have times 3, so oxygen is 16.0 grams times 3. And we get for that 125 grams per mole. So we're looking at the molar mass. You didn't have to go look at the molecular mass using EMUs per molecule. It's the same value regardless. But now we're defining the percentage of zinc, percentage of carbon, and the percentage of oxygen. So we start off with the percentage of zinc. So that the total mass is 65.4 grams. Divided by the total mass of the compound, which we found to be 125 grams. Multiply that by 100 to change that from a decimal to a percent. And our value for that is 52.3%. Percentage of carbon. Well, the total amount of carbon is 1 carbon, so that's 12.0 grams. Divided by the total mass, 125 grams, times 100, and this gives us 9.60%. And then when we do the oxygen, now we have that 3 to contend with. So we write down this entire thing just the way it's written over here, for percentage of oxygen. We get 16.0 grams times 3 over 125 grams times 100. And when you get that done, you get 38.4%. Now, in theory, you should get 100% for this. If you add this together, you get 61.9, and then this will give you 99. Actually 100.3%. Rounded off is about 100%, but it doesn't make any difference to get 101% or 99%. It's just because of how we rounded all these numbers over here off the periodic chart onto this. It's not going to give you a nice clean 100%. The only time that would happen is if you're given with 2 elements. So that's how we do zinc carbonate. Now, what about compounds that involve polyatomic ions and parentheses and all that? So let's take a look at one of those. Then we're going to look at ammonium dichromate. It's an ammonium ion. We need 2 ammoniums to balance the charge of the -2 for dichromate, which is Cr2O7. We have lots to do here. We got this nice parentheses. Okay, we're going to do the mass exactly the way it looks right here. Parentheses N, which is 14.0 grams, plus hydrogen, which is 1.10 grams. Remember, we're using 3 significant figures in all our masses. And we have 4 of them, so we're going to put a times 4 there. And then we have 2 of this entire thing, so this is times 2. Plus, we have 2 chromium, so chromium times 2. Chromium is 52.0 times 2, plus 7 oxygen, so oxygen times 17. Oxygen is 16.0 grams times 7, and when the smoke clears, we get a total mass of 252 grams per mole. So So now we're going to go through 4 different percentages. So we start with the nitrogen. Percentage of nitrogen is equal to, well, we have 14.0 times these two, 14.0 grams times 2, divided by the total mass of 252 grams. Not per mole, you know that we're dealing with. And then we change that by 100. And we get 11.1%. Hydrogen, we have hydrogen times 4, hydrogen 1.01 times 4, and then that is double, times 2, that's grams there, divided by 252 grams, times 100, that gives us 3.21%. Next is the chromium, and chromium times 2. So, percentage of chromium is 52.0 times 2 divided by 252. And that's grams there, and that's grams there. Times 100. And when you divide that out, you get 41.3%. The last one, you got 7 oxygens. So all those have to be taken into account as well. So the percentage of oxygen is 16.0 grams times 7 divided by 252 grams times 100. You get 44.4%. Add that up, get 85.7, 88.91, and 100.01%. That's pretty good. Get that close. So, okay, so now the practice problems. You need to do the exact same thing we did in the 2 examples. Here are the 5 compounds. Show your 7s and answers. Have fun.